What's up, Richard? Timmons here. Well, since May is of course obviously kicking off the summer movie season, lots of really interesting films to look forward to in the month of May. So here are my official top 10 anticipated movies set for release in May. All right, number 10, I'm going with Another Simple Favor. Now, Another Simple Favor is a follow-up to 2018's Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. No, this time around, you got Stephanie Smothers and Emily Nelson reunite on the beautiful island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a rich Italian businessman. Along with the glamorous guests, expect murders and betrayal to RSVP for a wedding and more twists and turns um, than the load from Marina Grande to the Capri town square. And the first Simple Favor was more better than it had any intentions being. I did not really expect much out of it. I thought it was really decent. Like lots of cool twists and turns around. Blake Lively and Kendrick were both great. I like Blake Lively. I don't care what anyone says. Forget the whole drama between her and Baldoni, whatever. I think Lively is awesome. So there's that. Of course you got Allison Janney, Henry Golding. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but it does look intriguing, so hopefully it's decent, but we'll see. Alright. Number 9 is Hurry Up Tomorrow. Now, of course, the last time The Weeknd led a project was The Idol, which was pretty terrible. I have some faith in this one, though, because it's directed by Trey Edward Schultz, who gave us movies like Krisha, It Comes at Night, Waves. He is a really interesting filmmaker, so having him attached to this, that there piques my interest. I like Jenna Ortega. I like Barry Keoghan. I think the trailer does look interesting. Do have a little bit of a misery vibe to it. Yeah. I'm hoping it's a good one, but hopefully it's better than The Idol, but we'll see. Alright. Number 8 is, of course, Fear Street Prom Queen. Now, of course, the first Fear Street movie I really quite enjoyed. I should say the first three, that is, because they pretty much released like 3 Fear Street movies or in July that year. And of course, this time around, unlike the first 3, this is actually a one old story. Hopefully, we'll get more Fear Street movies down the line. But here's what it's about. As students at Shadyside High are preparing for the 1988 prom, the It Girls all find to get support to be voted prom queen. As an unusual nominee emerges in the race, some of the other candidates begins to vanish without a trace. I'm definitely looking forward to see this one. Again, I really quite like the Fear Street movies. This one looks like it's going to be pretty fun. So I'm all for this. I love a good slasher movie. I love the prom night X to it. So I'm definitely excited for this one when it premieres. All right, number 7 is Bring Her Back. This is of course the new horror film from A24. From the directors of Talk to Me. And of course, it's about a brother and sister who uncover a terrifying ritual at a secluded home of their new foster mother. Of course, it's got Sally Hawkins. The trailers look pretty decent. Looks pretty creepy. So hopefully it's as good as Talk to Me, but we'll see. All right, number 6 is of course Karate Kid Legends. Of course, I love Cobra Kai. The previews for this has looked a lot of fun. The original Karate Kid is so iconic. So I'm definitely looking forward to check this one out. Of course, you got Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan. The kid, Ben Wang, looks great here. I think this looks like to be really fun to check out. Looks entertaining here. Hopefully, it's a great one. All right. Number 5 is Clown in a Cornfield. This is from the same director of Tucker Dale vs. Evil. That there piques my interest. It's a movie about a killer clown. The trailers have looked great. And the reviews, by the way, has been outstanding. It's pretty much in like the 90s range as of right now. So I'm definitely looking forward to see this one. Looks pretty fun, looks creepy here. I mean, of course, I need my clown fix, to hold me until like Terrifier 4 comes out next year. So I mean, this is just like, let's say it meets Children of the Corn. That's what I'm really getting at with this. But hopefully, I'll end up enjoying it. All right, number 4 is Leo and Stitch. Now, I know, not many people are a fan of the Disney live action stuff, but I am really pumped for this one. The trailers for this has looked excellent. Stitch looks adorable. The one who plays Leo, like, she looks adorable. I mean, I'm definitely excited for this thing. I love the original Leo Stitch. Like, it's not my all-time favorite film, like, from the Disney lineup. It's not as good as this. Like, it's not as a classic, let's say, The Lion King, Aladdin, or anything like that. But it's still a pretty good one, and I'm definitely looking forward to see this. It's from the director Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. That there piques my interest. So I'm definitely excited for this one. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint. We'll see there. All right, number 3 is, of course, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I mean, tickets, by the way, are on sale now. I'm definitely excited for this thing. It's supposed to be the final installment of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible films. Let's be real. This movie comes out, does some really good business. We're going to be getting some more Mission Impossibles. Whether it's like with Tom Cruise or not, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know, could Mission Impossible ever work without Tom Cruise? I mean, I guess that would be like doing Fast and Furious without Vin Diesel, but they've done that before, so. Anyway, I don't know. I think this could possibly be interesting. I really quite like the last one, Dead Reckoning. So I'm definitely looking forward to see this. Hopefully, if it is, of course, officially the end, hopefully they end it off with a bang. But we'll see. All right, number 2 is Thunderbolts. I so much can't wait for this thing. I've loved the trailers. I actually love the characters featured in this. I'm a fan of Elena. I'm a fan of Red Guardian. I mean, it has some of my favorite newer MCU characters popping up in this. So that there piques my interest. I love Florence Pugh. So, and it's also from the same people who gave us Beef. So what more can you ask for there? I'm hoping it's a good one, but we'll see how this one shapes up to be. And my number 1 anticipated film of May is none other than Final Destination: Bloodlines. Now, I know people probably, probably add Mission Impossible as their number 1 or Thunderbolts. My anticipated film of the whole month is Final Destination. I just adore this franchise. The trailers for this thing has looked a lot of fun. I love, you got the late great Tony Todd here. I'm definitely excited for this thing. Like, Final Destination is definitely in my top 10 favorite horror franchises of all time. It's up there with the likes of Friday the 13th, Child's Play, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely pumped for this one. I love the Bloodlines angle, so I'm definitely intrigued to this. Hopefully, it does to this point. Anyway, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. 10, Another Simple Favor. 9, Hurry Up Tomorrow. 8, Fear Street Prom Queens. 7, Bring Her Back. 6, Karate Kid Legends. 5, Clown in the Cornfield. 4, Leo and Stitch. 3, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. 2, Thunderbolts. And number 1, Final Destination: Bloodlines. Now, there's some other films coming out in the month of May as well. You want to call it March, but it's May, man. We got The Surfer with Nick Cage. And the Outboarder movie Rust, which I just see if anyone, like, what type of release that's going to be. Shadow Force, Nona's Samurai 69. My honorable mention would probably be Friendship. I probably could have added that on my list, but the one with Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson, that actually does look interesting. Let's see. Fountain of Youth looks interesting. There's also the new Wes Anderson film, but I hate to say this, I'm not all that excited for it now. Especially, I did not really care much for the trailers, so hopefully it does at this point, but we'll see. There's also Mountainhead, which is coming to HBO. I mean, we got some cool stuff to look forward to, like to kick off the summer movie season here. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are some of your anticipated films of May? Are you looking forward to check out Final Destination Bloodlines, Thunderbolts, The Surfer, Mission Impossible, etc.? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Tim Steiner.